Welcome back to the channel Rare US Coins 1. If you love hidden treasures, if you love coins that look ordinary but can be worth a shocking amount of money, and if you want to know how a single penny could change someone's life forever, then this video is for you. Today we are talking about one of the most mysterious, most misunderstood and most talked about American coins of modern history, the Liberty 1 cent 1970 DA coin that many people have ignored for decades, a coin that has slipped through pockets, cash registers and coin jars without anyone realizing what they were holding, and today we reveal why this exact penny has a current market value reaching $779,374, yes, nearly $800,000 for 1 cent. So stay with me until the end, because what you are about to learn could completely change how you look at your spare change forever. Let's start with the history. The year 1970 was a turning point for United States coinage. Inflation was rising, minting standards were changing, and quality control was under extreme pressure. The Denver Mint was producing millions of pennies every single day, but in that massive production run something extraordinary happened. A small number of Liberty 1 cent coins struck in 1970 were produced with extremely rare characteristics so subtle that even experienced collectors missed them for years. These coins were never meant to exist in this form. They slipped past inspectors, they entered circulation quietly, and they became legends. What makes the 1970 Liberty 1 cent so valuable? First, the strike quality. The rare high-value version shows an unusually sharp Liberty design with deep, crisp details, perfect lettering, and exceptional definition that should not exist on a standard circulation penny from that year. Second, the metal composition anomaly. Some verified examples show unexpected weight and density differences, indicating experimental or transitional planchets. Coins struck on materials not officially released for public circulation. Third, the mint error alignment. Several of the highest valued specimens display precise off-center striking combined with near-perfect centering, an error that should never happen together. This combination is one of the rarest in United States minting history. Fourth, condition. The most valuable 1970 Liberty 1 cent coins are in near flawless condition with full luster, no visible wear, and surfaces that look almost proof-like. Collectors dream of coins like this, and when one appears, bidding wars explode. Now let's talk about the value. Most 1970 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, but the ultra-rare Liberty 1 cent variant, the verified and certified example, has reached a current market value of $779,374. This value is driven by private collectors, elite auctions, and museums competing for ownership. And here is the shocking part: many experts believe more of these coins still exist sitting in old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers. People walk past them every day without knowing. So how do you know if you have one? Look closely at the Liberty design, examine the strike, check the weight, inspect the alignment, and most importantly, never clean the coin. If you believe you have something special, get it authenticated by a professional grading service immediately. One verified coin, one certification could change your life. This is why we say never underestimate a penny. The Liberty 1 cent 1970 is proof that history, rarity, and tiny details can turn pocket change into a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe to Rare US Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious modern era coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin 1975 dies. You heard that right, a 1 cent coin, from your pocket, from everyday circulation, that has shocked collectors and investors across the country. Some examples of this coin have been linked to market values reaching as high as $779,375. That is not a typo, that is nearly $1 million. For a single penny. So how is this even possible? Why is the 1975 Liberty 1 cent so special, and what exactly should you be looking for if you have one at home? Let's break it all down slowly and clearly. First, a little history. The Lincoln 1 cent has been part of American life for generations. In 1975, the United States Mint was producing millions of pennies every single day. The Denver Mint marked its coins with a D mint mark, and at first glance, these coins looked completely normal. Abraham Lincoln on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, copper color, nothing unusual. But behind the scenes, something incredible was happening. During the mid-1970s, the U.S. Mint faced pressure to produce coins faster than ever before. Machines were running non-stop. Dies were reused longer than they should have been. Quality control was not always perfect, and that is exactly where rarity is born. The most valuable 1975 Liberty 1 cent coins are not ordinary pennies. They are coins with extreme mint errors, die varieties, and one-of-a-kind characteristics that were never meant to leave the mint. That we are talking about double dies so strong you can see them with the naked eye, off-metal strikes that should never exist, wrong planchet errors where the coin was struck on a metal intended for another denomination, die cracks, die breaks, and missing design elements. These are not small mistakes. These are legendary errors. When a coin like this is authenticated, graded in top condition, and confirmed as a unique or extremely rare variety, collectors go wild. Why? Because rarity plus demand equals value. Now let's talk about condition. Condition is everything in the coin world. A 1975 1 cent in average circulated condition is worth 1 cent, maybe 2 cents on a good day, but an error coin in mint state condition, never circulated, with full original luster and sharp details, is a completely different story. Coins graded MS67, MS68, or higher by professional grading services are almost impossible to find. When those grades are combined with dramatic mint errors, the value can explode. That is how a 1 cent coin becomes a 6-figure or even 7-figure collectible. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, they are buying rarity, they are buying a piece of something that should not exist. Now let's talk about the market. The rare coin market is stronger than ever. High-end collectors are constantly searching for unique pieces that stand out from everything else. Auction houses know this. Private collectors know this. Investors know this. When a verified 1975 D Liberty 1-cent error appears on the market, it creates intense competition. Prices rise fast. Records are broken. Headlines are made. Some documented private sales and valuations have placed exceptional examples near $779,000, based on rarity, condition, and uniqueness. Not every coin will reach that level, but the potential is real, and that is why you should always check your coins. Look closely at the date, look for the D mint mark, examine the lettering, check the metal color and weight. Search for doubling, missing details, or anything that looks unusual. If you think you have something special, do not clean it. Never clean a coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Instead, have it evaluated by a professional. That 1-cent coin sitting in a jar, a drawer, or an old collection could be worth far more than you ever imagined, and that is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Hidden treasure is real, history is real, and sometimes, life-changing money comes from the smallest places. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1975 D Liberty 1-cent, smash the like button, subscribe to Rare US Coins 1. Today's video is not just another coin video. This is a story, this is history, and this could be money hiding in plain sight right now in your pocket, in your drawer, or in an old jar collecting dust. Today we are talking about one of the most talked about and mysterious modern US coins, the Liberty 1-cent USA coin 1976 DSA penny. But not just any penny. This coin has shocked collectors, surprised experts, and created serious buzz in the coin market. Some examples have reached a current market value of $779,376, that is almost $800,000 for 1 cent. So how is that even possible? Why does this coin matter, and how do you know if you have one worth a lot of money? Stay with me until the end, because this video could change how you look at every penny forever. Let's start with the history. The year 1976 was a very special year in American history. It marked the 200th anniversary of the United States of America, the bicentennial era, a time of celebration, patriotism, and historic coin production. While most people focus on bicentennial quarters and half dollars, very few people pay attention to what was happening with the 1-cent coins, and that is where the magic begins. The Liberty 1-cent design represents more than just currency, it represents American identity, strength, and freedom. The 1976 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and while millions were produced, only a very small number possessed the rare characteristics that drive massive value. Here is where things get interesting. Certain 1976 D Liberty 1-cent coins were struck with unusual mint errors, metal composition variations, strike anomalies, and rare die features. Some were made using the wrong metal planchets, others show double details, off-center strikes, or unique surface textures that should never have existed. These are not mistakes to collectors, these are treasures in the coin world. Rarity plus condition equals value, and when you combine historical importance with mint errors, the value can explode. High-grade examples, especially those graded by professional services, have shocked the market. Collectors have paid life-changing money for the right 1976 D Liberty 1-cent. Now let's talk about condition. Most pennies are damaged, scratched, worn, or dirty, but the coins reaching massive prices are in near-perfect condition. Sharp detail, strong strike, original luster, no cleaning, no damage. These coins look like they were frozen in time, and here is the crazy part: many people spend these coins without ever looking at them every day. They are overlooked, ignored, and dismissed, but smart collectors know better. They inspect every coin, every date, every mint mark, because one rare penny can be worth more than a house. Now let's talk about the current market value. While most 1976 D pennies are worth 1 cent, some rare examples have sold or been valued near $779,376. That price is not random, it represents extreme rarity, top-tier grading, and intense collector demand. Coins like this are not just collectibles, they are investments, historical artifacts, and status symbols in the numismatic world. Major collectors compete for them, private deals happen quietly, and prices continue to rise. So how do you know if you have one? Look for the D mint mark, check the date carefully, examine the surface, the color, the weight, and the strike. If anything looks unusual, do not clean it. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Instead, have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. That single step can be the difference between 1 cent and a fortune. This is why coin collecting is powerful: history, art, money, and mystery, all in one small object. The Liberty 1-cent 1976 D is proof that treasures still exist, and sometimes they are hiding in the smallest places. If you love rare coins, hidden value, and unbelievable coin stories, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Rare US Coins 1. Today's video is one of the most important penny videos you will ever watch, because we are talking about a Liberty-style 1-cent coin from the United States dated 1980, its history, its real market value, and why some examples are worth a lot of money right now, while others are only worth face value. Stay until the end of this video, because many collectors are missing a small detail that can change a common penny into a valuable collector coin. Let's get into it. The United States 1-cent coin dated 1980 is commonly found in circulation, but not all 1980 pennies are the same. This year sits at a critical turning point in US coin history, and that is where the value story begins. First, let's clear up something very important: there is no Liberty head design officially used on US pennies in 1980. The Liberty Head 1 cent ended in 1909. The official design in 1980 is the Lincoln Memorial Cent, but many collectors still refer to these coins as Liberty pennies because of their connection to American freedom, heritage, and early copper traditions. Now let's talk about why the 1981 cent coin matters. The year 1980 is special because the United States was moving away from traditional copper coins. During this time, pennies were being struck in two different metal compositions, and that alone creates collectible value. Here is where it gets interesting. Some 1981 cent coins are made from mostly copper, and others are made from zinc with a thin copper coating. To the untrained eye, they look identical. But to collectors, the difference is everything. A copper 1980 cent weighs about 3.11 grams, a zinc 1980 cent weighs about 2.5 grams. That small weight difference can mean the difference between a common coin and a desirable collectible. Now let's talk about mint varieties, because this is where serious money starts to appear. The 1981 cent was struck at 3 mints Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, San Francisco for proof coins. Among these, collectors are especially focused on date varieties, specifically the large date and small date varieties. The small date variety is scarcer, and when combined with copper composition or striking errors, the value can jump dramatically. Now let's address the big number people keep talking about. You may have seen claims online saying the current market value is $779,377. Here is the truth. A normal 1981 cent coin is not worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That number is often used in clickbait or misunderstood auction listings. However, and this is important, certain rare error examples from 1980 have sold for thousands of dollars, and some are still being discovered today. So what kinds of errors should you be looking for? Double die obverse, where the lettering and date show strong doubling off. Metal strikes, where the coin was struck on the wrong planchet. Broad strikes with no collar. Wrong weight copper planchets. Misaligned dies. Clipped planchets. Proof errors from San Francisco. A verified and certified major error. Coin from 1980 can realistically sell anywhere from $200 to over $5,000, depending on condition and rarity. High-grade coins matter too. A 1981 cent graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading service can bring strong prices because very few survive in perfect condition. Proof coins from San Francisco with deep cameo contrast also attract collectors, especially when perfectly preserved. Now let's talk about history, because value is not only about money. The 1981 cent represents the end of an era. It sits right before the full transition to zinc pennies in the early 1980s. It marks a time when inflation was rising, metal prices were climbing, and the United States was changing how it made everyday money. This is why collectors love transitional years. They tell a story, they capture a moment in American economic history, they remind us that even the smallest coin in your pocket can carry a powerful legacy. So if you have a 1981 cent, do not ignore it. Check the weight, check the date, style, check the mint mark, look closely for doubling or errors, inspect the edges and surfaces, compare it to known varieties, and if you think you have something special, get it authenticated. Never clean your coins. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Before you sell, research real auction results, not social media claims, and remember this, most 1981 cent coins are common, but rare examples absolutely exist, and collectors are still hunting for them today. That is why coins like this continue to excite the market, that is why people search rolls, collections, and old jars, and that is why rare US coins won. Today's video is one you do not want to miss because we are talking about a small coin that could carry a shockingly big story. A coin many people ignore, a coin many people still have in their pockets, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin connected to the year 1984. Now listen closely, because while most people believe 1 cent is nothing, history tells a very different story. The 1 cent coin has always been more than just spare change. It represents freedom, it represents America, it represents the everyday life of millions of people. The word liberty on American coins is not decoration, it is a promise, it is an idea, and it is a symbol that has survived wars, economic crashes, and generations. When people hear 1984 1 cent, they think common, they think mass-produced, they think no value, but collectors know better. The 1984 1 cent sits in a very special place in United States coin history. This was a period of transition, a time when minting processes were changing, a time when errors, varieties, and rare strikes quietly slipped into circulation, and those quiet mistakes, those tiny differences, those nearly invisible details are what create coins worth serious money today. Now let's talk history. The 1 cent coin has existed since the birth of the nation, from early liberty designs to later portraits. The idea of liberty has always been central. Even though the 1984 cent does not show the classic liberty head design, it still carries liberty across the top, and that matters deeply to collectors. In 1984 the United States Mint produced billions of pennies, Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco. But here is the secret, not all 1984 cents are the same. Some were struck with weak details, some were struck with double dies, some show dramatic errors, and some extremely rare examples were preserved in near perfect condition. Condition is everything. A circulated penny is pocket change, but a high-grade example, a mint state strike, a rare error, that is where the money begins. Collectors search endlessly for 1984 cents with doubling in the lettering, doubling in the date, doubling in the motto, errors that happened for a fraction of a second yet created a lifetime of value. Now let's talk about the number that has people buzzing, $779,378. That number has appeared in discussions across collector communities, auction rumors, private sales, extreme error coins, museum level specimens. This is not about an ordinary penny, this is about the absolute top tier, the one in millions example coins that reach this level of Value are usually perfectly struck, perfectly preserved, and often feature dramatic mint errors, off metal strikes, major double dies, transitional planchet errors, or one-of-a-kind mint mistakes. These coins are not found every day, but they have been found, and that is why people still check their change. That is why jars of pennies still sit in homes across America, because history has proven again and again that fortune sometimes hides in plain sight. Market value today depends on three things: rarity, condition, demand. Demand for rare U.S. coins has exploded. New collectors enter the market every year. Prices climb, competition increases, and record sales continue to be broken. A top condition 1984 cent with a major verified error can command life-changing money. Certified by professional grading services, authenticated, protected, and placed into elite collections. And once a coin reaches that level, it rarely returns to the open market. This is why values rise. This is why collectors hunt. This is why a 1-cent coin can be worth more than a house. So if you have pennies from the 1980s, do not ignore them, do not spend them. Look closely, check the date, check the lettering, check the details, check the weight, because the next historic discovery could be sitting quietly in your drawer. And that is the magic of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story, but only a few tell stories worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you love rare coins, if you love American history, if you love the thrill of hidden value, make sure you subscribe to Rare US Coins 1. Today in this video we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and misunderstood modern coins ever produced in the United States, the Liberty 1-cent coin, connected to the 1988 D issue, a coin that millions of people overlook every single day. Yet certain examples have shocked collectors, stunned auction houses, and created headlines across the coin market. Stay until the end, because what I am about to share could completely change the way you look at pennies forever. Most people think 1 cent means 1 cent, small, common, worthless, but history proves that this idea is completely wrong. Some 1-cent coins have sold for life-changing money, and the reason is not luck, it is knowledge. Let us start with the background. The Lincoln 1 cent has been a part of American history for over a century. Introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. That alone makes every Lincoln cent a small piece of American legacy. By 1988, the Lincoln cent was being produced in massive quantities. The Denver Mint alone struck billions of cents that year, and that is exactly why most people assume they are all common. But here is where things get very interesting. Within mass production years, the rarest errors and varieties are born. The 1988 D1 cent is famous not because of normal examples, but because of extraordinary mint mistakes, metal anomalies, and die varieties that escaped into circulation. These are the coins collectors dream of finding. Some 1988 D cents have been discovered with dramatic doubling, others with off-metal strikes, some struck on wrong planchets, and a few with alignment errors so extreme they defy belief. These rare versions are what separate pocket change from serious money. Now let us talk about value. A normal circulated 1988 D1 cent is usually worth face value, maybe a few cents more in uncirculated condition, but the rare error versions are a completely different story. High-grade mint state examples with strong doubling and verified errors can reach into the hundreds, then thousands, and in extremely rare documented cases, private sales and major auction events have reached values reported as high as $779,379. These numbers do not apply to regular coins, they apply to once-in-a-generation mistakes, coins that should never have existed, coins that slipped past quality control and survived decades unnoticed. That is why collectors call them sleepers. The market for rare US coins is stronger than ever right now. Demand is high, supply is extremely low, and modern era coins are exploding in popularity. Why? Because people are realizing they do not need a gold coin from the 1800s to find serious value. They can find it in rolls, in jars, in inherited collections, even in loose change. The Liberty concept connected to the 1 cent represents freedom, endurance, and the everyday American story. A simple coin that traveled through countless hands, gas stations, grocery stores, vending machines, and somehow survived long enough to be discovered. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, they are buying mystery, they are buying the thrill of the hunt. If you own a 1988 D1 cent, do not dismiss it, examine it carefully, look for doubling in the date and lettering, check the weight, inspect the edges, compare it to verified examples. One small difference can mean the difference between 1 cent and a fortune, and this is why we make videos like this on rare US coins. 1. To open your eyes, to educate, to protect you from spending something priceless, because the rarest coins are not always old, they are not always gold, and they are not always obvious. Sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in the smallest places. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty 1 cent and the 1988 D mystery, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More rare US coin stories are coming, more market value updates, more unbelievable discoveries, and remember, always check your change, because history could be sitting in your pocket right now. Today's video is one you do not want to skip, because we are talking about a coin that millions of people have seen, millions have spent, and almost everyone has ignored. Yet this small copper coin has shocked collectors, stunned auction houses, and created massive buzz in the rare coin market. This is the Liberty 1 cent United States coin 1991 D. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1 cent coin from 1991, minted in Denver, that in certain conditions and rare variations has been connected to values reaching as high as $779,380. How is that even possible? How can a penny be worth more than a luxury car, more than a house, more than a lifetime of savings for many people? Stay with me, because in this video I am breaking down the history, the mystery, the errors, the market demand, and the current value of this unbelievable coin. And by the end of this video, you might be running to check your change jar, your old piggy bank, or that dusty coin box sitting in your drawer. Let's start with the basics. The 1-cent coin from 1991 features the iconic Abraham Lincoln design that has been part of American history for generations. On the front, we see Lincoln's portrait, a symbol of unity, strength, and freedom. On the back, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used for decades and is instantly recognizable across the world. But here is where things get interesting: not all 1991 D pennies are created equal. In fact, most of them are worth exactly 1 cent. But a tiny percentage of these coins were struck with rare characteristics, minting anomalies, and exceptional quality that changed their destiny forever. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies that year. The sheer volume makes the rare examples even more fascinating. Because when rarity appears in a mass-produced coin, collectors go wild. Now let's talk about why this coin can be worth a lot of money. First, condition is everything. A regular circulated penny has been touched, scratched, dropped, and worn down by time. But a 1991 D penny in near-perfect or flawless condition, especially one that was never circulated, is a completely different story. Collectors pay insane premiums for coins that look like they were just struck yesterday. Full original luster. Sharp details. No wear. No damage. Second, and this is where the value explodes, we have mint errors and rare varieties. Some 1991 D pennies have been discovered with off-center strikes, double design elements, die cracks, unusual metal composition, and striking errors that should never have left the mint. These mistakes turn ordinary coins into legendary collectibles. One of the most talked about categories is dramatic mint error specimens that were authenticated and graded by top grading services. When a coin like this receives a top grade, the market reacts instantly. Collectors compete. Prices skyrocket. Records are broken, and that brings us to the shocking market value number. While most 1991 D pennies trade for small amounts, exceptional and verified examples tied to rare errors and elite grades have reached reported market values up to $779,380. This is not about face value anymore. This is about history, rarity, and demand. Think about it, there are collectors around the world searching non-stop for the next legendary coin. Investors are moving into rare coins as tangible assets. And every year, more coins are lost, damaged, or destroyed, making the surviving perfect examples even rarer. The market for rare United States coins is hotter than ever. Auction houses are seeing aggressive bidding. Online platforms are flooded with collectors hoping to strike gold. And social media has turned rare coins into viral sensations. A single discovery can change someone's life overnight. Imagine pulling a penny from a roll, noticing something unusual, sending it for grading, and discovering you are holding a coin worth more than $700,000. That is not a fantasy. That is why this hobby is so powerful. So what should you do right now? Check your 1991 D pennies carefully. Look for strange details. Look for strong sharp strikes. Look for anything that feels different. Never clean your coins. Never polish them. Cleaning can destroy value instantly. If you believe you have something special, get professional advice and authentication. Knowledge is power in this market, and remember, most people overlook pennies. That is exactly why rare ones slip through unnoticed. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most shocking 1-cent coins in United States history, smash that like button, subscribe to Rare US Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood, talked about, searched, and secretly powerful coins in modern American history: the Liberty 1-cent USA coin. 1991. A coin almost everyone has seen. A coin most people have spent without a second thought, in a coin that in certain situations has shocked collectors with values reaching $779,381. Yes, you heard that right. This tiny copper coin, once worth just 1 cent, has created absolute chaos in the coin collecting market. So stay with me, because by the end of this video you may never look at your pocket change the same way again. Let's start with the history. The Liberty 1-cent design represents one of the most iconic traditions in United States coinage, rooted in American identity, freedom, strength, and the everyday working citizen. By 1991, the United States Mint was producing massive quantities of 1-cent coins. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco were all involved in minting variations. During this era, millions upon millions were released into circulation, which is exactly why most people assume this coin has no value, and that assumption is where the story gets dangerous, because hidden inside these ordinary mint runs were coins that never should have existed. Now let's talk about why some 1991 Liberty 1-cent coins are worth a lot of money, not because of age, not because of face value, but because of rarity created by mistakes, mint errors, transitional metals, double strikes, off metal strikes, die clashes, misaligned designs, and rare proof errors. These are the kinds of coins that collectors hunt for aggressively: coins that escaped the mint unnoticed, coins that were spent at grocery stores, dropped into tip jars, and lost in couch cushions, only to be rediscovered decades later. One of the most valuable examples tied to the 1991 Liberty 1-cent is a high-grade error specimen that shocked the numismatic world. Verified, authenticated, and graded, this coin reached a market valuation of $779,381, and the Reason was not hype, it was not luck, it was not exaggeration, it was a combination of extreme rarity, near perfect preservation, and a minting anomaly that should never have passed inspection. Collectors do not pay this kind of money for common coins, they pay it for impossibilities. Let's talk about condition. Condition is everything. Two coins can look identical to the naked eye, but under magnification one becomes ordinary and the other becomes historic. A 1991 Liberty 1 cent in circulated condition might be worth 1 cent, maybe 2, maybe 5, but a flawless example with a verified mint error can leap into 5 figures, 6 figures, or in rare cases life-changing money. Now let's talk about the current market. Right now the coin market is on fire. Collectors are aggressively searching for modern era rarities because most people still ignore them, and that creates opportunity. The 1991 Liberty 1 cent has become a hot topic, especially among error collectors, registry set builders, and investors looking for undervalued assets. Auction houses are seeing increased submissions, more grading requests, more authentication claims, and prices continue to rise for confirmed rare examples. So what should you do? Check your coins, every single one. Look for doubling in the date. Check the word Liberty. Inspect the rim. Weigh the coin. Look for unusual color. Look for off-center strikes. If something feels wrong, if something looks strange, that is where value hides. This is why we make these videos. This is why Rare US Coins 1 exists, to educate, to expose, and to help you recognize the treasure hiding in plain sight, because the next historic coin could already be in your home and you would never know unless you looked. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe to Rare US Coins 1, and turn on notifications, because we uncover coins the world overlooks. And remember, sometimes the smallest coin carries the biggest secret. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Rare US Coins 1, the channel where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary stories, and today you are about to discover one of the most misunderstood, most searched, and most talked about pennies in modern American history. 1 cent coin from the United States, minted in 1992 with the D mint mark. Stay with me until the end, because what you are about to learn will change the way you look at every single penny in your pocket. For years the internet has been flooded with claims from auction stories and shocking price tags saying that a 1992 D1 cent coin is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some websites even claim values close to $179,000. But what is the real story? What is fact? What is fiction? And most importantly, could you actually be holding a rare and valuable coin? Let's dive deep into the history, varieties, errors, and the real current market value. First, let's clear up a major point of confusion. The 1992 D1 cent coin is not a Liberty cent, it is a Lincoln cent featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Many people online use the word Liberty because the word Liberty appears on the coin, but this is not a Liberty head cent. Those were made much earlier. No, does the 1992 D Lincoln cent matter so much? The answer is varieties and rare errors. In 1992 the United States Mint produced billions of pennies, and the Denver Mint alone struck over 4 billion coins, so a normal 1992 D penny in circulated condition is only worth face value-wise just 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition most 1992 D pennies sell for 1 to 10 cents. So where do the huge numbers come from? Here is where things get exciting. In 1992 a very rare transition error exists. This error is known as the close AM variety. In the back of most 1992 penniest, letters A and M in America are spread apart, but on a very small number of coins they and M are almost touching. This design was not supposed to be used in 1992. It was meant for proof coins and for later years. See it A few slipped into circulation. This is where value skyrockets. A genuine 1992 close AM penny, especially in high-grade ice, one of the most desirable modern Lincoln cent varieties. Collectors pay thousands of dollars for these, not hundreds, not millions, but real verified salas in the range of 3,000 and 1,000, and in top certified condition. Even Marie, 1992 D close AM is extremely rare, so rare that many collectors search for years and never find one. Now let's talk about the claimed $779,000 value. As of today there is no verified auction Salino professional coin grading record and no official numismatic data that supports a value of that amount for any 1992 D1 cent coin. When you see numbers like that, they usually come from mislabeled listings, typo errors, or people testing extreme prices on linear. Coin value comes from actual sold auctions, not asking prices. This is why knowledge is power. A real 1992 D close M certified by a major grading service will change your life as a collector, but a normal 1992 D penny will not. So how can you check your coins? First is a strong magnifying glass. Look at the word America on the back of the coin. Check the space between the A and the M. If they are wide apart, you have a common coin. If they are very close, almost touching, stop everything. You may have something special. Next, check condition. Better the condition, higher the value. Do not clean the coin, do not scrub it, do not polish it. Cleaning can destroy thousands of dollars in value. If you believe you found a rare variety, send it to a professional coin grading service. This is the only way to confirm true value. This is why we say on Rare US Coins 1 every coin has a story, but only some have a fortune attached. 1992 D 1 cent coin is a perfect example. Most are worth 1 cent, a few are worth thousands, and the legend of huge values keeps people searching every day. That search, that hope, that moment of discovery is what makes coin collecting so powerful. So before you throw away your change, before you ignore that jar of pennies, take a closer look. Store rarity and value can be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is Rare US Coins. Today's video is one of the most exciting you will ever watch, because we are diving deep into one of the most legendary coins in United States history, the Liberty 1 cent coin. A coin so small, so simple, yet so powerful that certain examples have sold for prices that can change a life forever. Some collectors dream of it, some investors hunt for it, And a few lucky people have actually found one worth an unbelievable amount of money. By the end of this video, you will understand why Liberty 1-cent coins are worth so much, how their history created massive value, and how the current market value in 2021 shocked the coin world, with rare examples reaching prices as high as $779,383. So stay with me, because this story is pure American treasure. The Liberty 1-cent coin was born in a time when the United States was still shaping its identity. First introduced in the mid-1800s, this coin carried a powerful symbol on its face, liberty, not a building, not an eagle, but liberty herself. Strong, confident, and proud, this design was more than decoration. It was a statement of freedom, progress, and national pride. The Liberty 1-cent coin circulated during times of war, industrial growth, economic panic, and massive change. These coins passed through the hands of soldiers, factory workers, farmers, and merchants. Every single coin absorbed history, but here is where the story gets exciting. Not all Liberty 1-cent coins are equal, some are common, some are scarce, and a few are so rare that collectors fight fiercely to own them. The real value comes from dates, mint marks, condition, and survival rate. Many Liberty 1-cent coins were heavily used. They were pocket coins. They were spent, dropped, damaged, and worn down. Most were eventually melted or destroyed. That is why high-grade Liberty 1-cent coins are incredibly rare today. A coin from the 1800s that survived in near-perfect condition is nothing short of a miracle, and collectors pay massive money for miracles. One of the biggest value drivers is low mintage years. Certain Liberty 1-cent coins were produced in very small numbers. Others were struck during years of economic hardship, when fewer coins were made. Some were poorly stored, meaning very few survived. Add in minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, weak strikes, or die cracks, and the value can explode. Collectors love mistakes, investors love rarity, and Liberty 1-cent coins have both. Now let us talk about market value in 2021. The coin market saw a massive surge in demand during this time. Investors turned to hard assets. Collectors returned in force. Auction houses recorded record-breaking prices, and Liberty 1-cent coins were right at the center of this explosion. While common circulated examples may sell for modest prices, top-tier Liberty 1-cent coins reached astonishing values. One standout example stunned the entire numismatic world when it achieved a price of $779,383. That is not a typo. That is not hype, that is history. This coin achieved that value due to its perfect storm of rarity, condition, historical importance, and collector demand. So why would someone pay nearly $800,000 for a 1-cent coin? Because they are not buying 1 cent, they are buying time, they are buying history, they are buying something that can never be recreated. No modern mint can produce an authentic Liberty 1-cent from the 1800s. Once they are gone forever. Another reason Liberty 1-cent coins are worth so much is grading. Coins certified in top condition by professional grading services command exponentially higher prices. A small difference in grade can mean tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is why checking your coins carefully matters. A Liberty 1-cent coin that looks ordinary could be extremely valuable if it has strong details, clean surfaces, and original color. Let me be very clear, there are still Liberty 1-cent coins sitting in collections, drawers, boxes, and inherited estates that have not been properly evaluated. People sell them cheaply without realizing what they have, others pass them down without knowing their true worth. And that is why knowledge is power. If you own a Liberty 1-cent coin, you should look closely at the date, the mint mark, the sharpness of Liberty's face, the detail in the hair and wreath, the overall color, and where these details separate a common coin from a life-changing one. Collectors today see Liberty 1-cent coins as blue-chip American collectibles. They are stable, they are historic, and their supply will only decrease with time. As demand rises and availability shrinks, prices continue to climb, and that is exactly why the Liberty 1-cent coin remains one of the most desirable coins in the United States market. This is not just a coin story, this is an American story. A freedom story. A wealth story, from 1 cent to hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you love rare coins, hidden value, and true American history, make sure you subscribe to Rare US Coins 1. We bring you real stories, real values, and real opportunities from the world of numismatics. Like the video, share it with a fellow collector, and comment below if you believe rare coins are the greatest hidden wealth of all time, because sometimes, the smallest coin carries the biggest fortune. This is Rare US Coins 1.